I came home from the funeral with my heart pounding so hard against my ribs it almost hurt to breathe. Standing on my parents' front porch, one hand hovered over the door, the other clutching a thick envelope that could change everything. Inside was the truth, the kind of truth that could destroy families. I was about to tell them that Grandpa had secretly left me 2 working ranches and a house in Los Angeles. But then I heard my mother's voice through the closed door, and it made my blood run cold. I froze, my knuckles inches from the wood. The house looked the same as it had the day I left for basic training. Peeling white paint, wind chimes clinking in the breeze, the lace curtains my mother refused to replace. But I was no longer the same person who had walked away years ago. I had just buried the one family member who had ever seen me for more than my mistakes, more than the difficult daughter label I'd carried my whole life. The funeral itself had been quiet. A small chapel, a handful of people, the smell of old wood and dust. I stood in my black uniform, ribbons neatly pinned, hands clasped to hide the tremor that grief always brought. Later, Grandpa's attorney handed me the envelope in the parking lot. "Keep this somewhere safe," he said. I hadn't opened it yet. I already knew what it contained. Grandpa had trusted me with everything because he knew my family wouldn't. "You understand responsibility," he'd told me months ago. And silence. Now that silence wrapped around me again as my family's voices drifted through the door. My mother spoke first, controlled, sharp, persuasive. My father clipped a reminder, "Good. Everyone remember what we talked about." My younger brother laughed carelessly. My sister, softer, said, "Do you think she'll try to take charge?" My chest tightened. "PTSD, long deployments, exhaustion," my mother said. "We can frame it as concern. We're worried about her mental state." The word that echoed in my mind was guardianship. My parents were plotting to strip me of control over my own life, my finances, my choices, my freedom. My father mentioned a doctor coming tomorrow to evaluate me. My mother called it for my own good. My siblings chimed in with casual complicity. They were planning, coordinating, thinking I was vulnerable. I felt cold anger settle deep inside me. I had imagined confronting them, throwing the envelope on the table and telling them the truth. But Grandpa's voice echoed in my mind. Silence is not weakness. It's timing. I took a steadying breath. When I opened the door, I did not storm in. I moved quietly, wearing exhaustion and grief, the expression they expected. My mother rushed to me with fake concern. My father nodded solemnly. My siblings hovered, eyes sharp. I sat on the couch, folded my hands, boots planted firmly on the rug. I was calm, obedient in appearance, but inside, something was hardening. They thought they were guiding me, protecting me. They didn't know I was planning my escape. Over the next few days, I let them believe I was disoriented, weak, confused. I allowed my mother to hover, to serve me watery oatmeal, to control my phone and schedule. I observed, measured, and waited. I contacted the professional Grandpa had trusted me to reach. Slowly, quietly, I began securing the properties, the assets, and the legal documentation. I learned about my family's financial recklessness, loans, missed payments, gambling. Their concern had never been for me. It had always been for survival. When my parents tried to bring in a doctor under false pretenses, I confronted him. Calmly, firmly, I let him know I had no consent, no medical emergency, and no intention of being manipulated. My mother sputtered, my father stiffened, my siblings froze. I revealed the envelope. Grandpa had left me assets, not debts. 2 ranches, a house in Los Angeles. The room shifted instantly. Faces rearranged themselves, voices softened. But I gave them nothing, no documents, no numbers. I stayed calm, collected, unshaken. That night I packed quietly. I left the house with my dignity intact, my assets secured, and my freedom preserved. The professionals had confirmed the trust, the properties, and the safeguards were in place. No guardianship petition would survive scrutiny. In Los Angeles, I stepped into the house Grandpa had entrusted to me. The first night, I slept on a simple mattress on the floor, windows open, the sounds of the city drifting in strange and beautiful. I visited the ranches, walked the land, and put managers in place. Grandpa's trust had been about responsibility, not power. I upheld it quietly, firmly, correctly. I set boundaries with my family via email. No contact unless it concerned emergencies. No access to my finances. No manipulations, no coercion. Their messages came anyway, apologies, guilt, and attempts at reconciliation. but I did not respond. I had learned that family is not who controls you, and love is not something that demands your signature. Months later, I stood at Grandpa's grave, thanking him, not just for the inheritance, but for the lesson, that strength is not always confrontation. Sometimes it is preparation, clarity, and walking away without slamming the door. If anything in this story resonates with you, if you've ever been told you're too emotional, too broken, too unstable, you are allowed to protect yourself. You are allowed to say no, even to those who raised you. You are allowed to live your life on your terms. And for the first time, I truly was.